Happy Wednesday and welcome back to our podcast conversation. And this week, as we are in an overall season, talking about seasons, we are talking this week about the season of purification. Knowing that the Lord at some points in our life will invite us in to allow the light to shine into our hearts, to remove the things from our lives that prevent us from having a deeper relationship with Him. And on the last several Wednesdays and Thursdays, we've talked about how every season has something to either teach us or accomplish in us. And in a season of purification, there is something that God is trying to teach us and accomplish in us. Today, let's talk about what is it that a season of purification can teach us. It can teach us, if we allow it, about not only what are the things that are preventing us from staying in our relationship with the Lord, but more importantly, what are the roots of those things? Why are those things present in our life? Why would God want to do that? Well, we're going to talk about that tomorrow when we talk about what it's trying to accomplish. So hang on to that question because that's a really good question. But we want to get in touch with the things that prevent us. What are our patterns of sin? What are our patterns of perhaps disengaging from God? What are our patterns of busyness just because of life? Or perhaps sometimes those patterns of busyness are actually fueling our distance from God. We want to get in touch with what are the things that prevent us from staying in a relationship with God. It could be patterns of fear. It could be the things in our life that trigger anxiety. Whether it's from ordinary life or whether it's things that directly come from our prayer, God tries to teach us about the patterns in our life that would prevent us from staying in relationship with Him. And God is going to try to show us the root of that. What do those things come from? Let me give you a concrete example this morning about what the season of purification can teach us. Throughout my life, I've been through different seasons of purification myself. And one of the things that has been a theme throughout almost all of those seasons of purification is a combination of God wanting me to trust Him and God wanting me to rely on Him. We all have our own different things in our stories, but that's the story of, you might say, my relationship with God. He wants me to trust Him. He wants to provide for me, but that means I have to rely on Him. Now, as I go through my own life, as I went through my 20s and my 30s and now in my 40s, there have been different reasons why I may have resisted relying on God, or there may have been different circumstances that would have made it hard for me to trust God. At different seasons of my life, I have had to surrender to God, right, if I am going to trust in Him. And I have had to make conscious decisions if I'm going to rely on Him. And every one of the seasons of purification has taught me more about me, about why I'm afraid to give my life completely to God. It's taught me things about me, about how I'm responding to the present situation. And it's taught me about how my choices impact my relationships with the people who are closest to me. In every season of purification, God is going to try to teach us something. And if we can reframe while we're in that season, sometimes He can give us hope in the midst of that season. As you look back on your own life, as you think about the seasons in your own life where God is purifying you, whether you're there now or maybe even in the past, ask yourself, what have you learned about yourself? What are the patterns that prevent you from staying in relationship with God? What are the habits, the people, the relationships, the sins, whatever those are? Ask the Lord to teach you more about what He is purifying in you. And as we said, we'll have a conversation tomorrow about what it's trying to accomplish and what it can do in us to get us ready for the other seasons of life. Be not afraid. Let the Lord take you deep within your heart today. And until our conversation unfolds tomorrow, God bless you.